Alright, so here's what I'm doing. I'm going to just kind of restart this mission, and I fired what looks like a roughly 3-second burst and hit this tank with one round. And I'll show you how I did that. I'm thinking dispersion is way too high, just like the rent. So I make my attack from the rear quarter of the tank, diving at 20-25 degrees, depending on my roll-in point, using combat mix, and of course the green A-10, which is what they should look like. Put on my guns, sight, HUD mode, whatever you want to call it. And let's get this tank. It's going to be a little easier to spot.
Pull up, pull up.
Open fire. That looks pretty dead on to me.
Altitude, altitude. Pull up, pull up.
But I'm going to guess I'm going to look behind and he's not dead. Right. So, let's check the F10 map. Look, he's 25% dead, 75% alive, which is 75% higher than I think he should be after a gun run like that. So I'm wondering what's going on. I would appreciate some criticism if anybody watching this says, hey, you're sloppy, here's what you can do to fix that. Please let me know, because if I can fix it through my technique, that's ideal. I don't want to mod my client, because certain servers like the 104th require a pure client, which means even if I modify my kneeboard position, I can't get in. So let's see if it works. A little different. Let's try the gun cross, which a little less cluttery, but which tank did I hit? That one off there in the grass. So I'm going to attack him from over here. So yeah, my screen looks weird, I know. That's because I've got, excuse me, like 4 monitors in a T configuration, and the one down low I use to extract the MFDs into.
Pull up, pull up. Pull up, pull up.
Pack. Fire. To me, that's looking pretty good.
Altitude, altitude.
And I expect
Pull
to
up,
look behind
pull
and
up.
see black smoke. Nope. None. So, now, okay, according to this, I didn't even hit him. So, what the hell is up with that? What did I do wrong? I mean, to me, that looked like a pretty decent gun run, which should have killed a fresh new T-72 in one pass. At least it has in the past. This is my kind of gun warm-up training mission. I've got 10 T-72s, all in the X, and a full load of combat mix and nothing else. And in earlier days, I don't know how long ago exactly, I could normally kill between 6 and all 10 of these tanks with one ammo drum. Of course, lately, I can kill 2.5. That doesn't seem right to me. Of course, the first suspect in this situation is me. I wonder what I'm doing wrong.
Pull up, pull up.
What I could do better. See, I don't think it looks a lot better than that. That looked
Altitude, altitude. Pull up, pull up.
pretty squared away to me. And it did kill it. That was the third pass. Seems kind of... That doesn't seem right to me. And I've got 620 rounds left. That's half my ammo drum almost to kill one tank. Let's see. Which tank do I have a good recorder shot on? Let's try this guy here.
Pull up. Pull
It's
up.
a side-on shot, but let's try it. Let's get a little closer.
Altitude. Altitude.
Nope. Well, he's more dead. Maybe I need to be getting closer. But see, the problem with that is that the little guys with their heads out the hatches pointing to the 30 caliber machine gun or whatever it is tend to shoot you while you're doing your gun run. Whether that's realistic or not is up for debate, because if I was getting strafed by an A-10, well, I'd probably just get out of the tank and run, for one thing. But would I stick my head out the hatch and point the little machine gun on the top? Oh geez, that'd be pretty badass if you could do it. But I'm not that badass.
Pull up.
And
Pull up.
about there, looks pretty good.
Altitude.
Now, that's
Altitude.
not dead. It's not dead. So, I don't think it looks better than that as far as gun runs go. He's almost dead, but he's not dead. I could have started my firing earlier to get more rounds into him, I suppose. 290 rounds remaining. But the problem with that run is that I was unrealistically close. If I had done that with targets that were firing back, I probably would have lost at least one system in the aircraft. I know this isn't a rear-on shot, but he's so close to dead.
Pull
I
up.
think this
Pull
should
up.
do it. Let's get him. And let's get
Altitude.
him.
Altitude.
No, let's not get him.
Pull up. Pull up.
Get him in a second. So, incidentally, unrelated to the topic at hand, spotting vehicles on the ground in DCS. Now, I'm actually pursuing my private pilot's license, and last time I was flying, I was trying to compare the two, trying to spot vehicles on the ground and stuff. And there is something to the argument that it's really too difficult in DCS. Because I could find even...
Pull up. Pull up.
I should do it, right?
Altitude. Altitude.
Yes. Even vehicles that were the same color as the ground, like tan vehicles over the desert that I live in. No problem spotting those, and I'm flying at 5,000 feet AGL roughly, so I just gotta give you an idea. And I'm looking, I'm like, yeah, I can definitely see all those, and you can see reflections in the windscreens, you can see shadows, you can see all kinds of cool stuff. Even accounting for something like camouflage, I think that a little too hard to see things on the ground in DCS. I don't know how to improve that. Of course, I'm not a programmer, not even close. So let's see if I can get one more kill with the amount of rounds I have
Pull up.
remaining.
Pull up.
This guy here looks like a pretty good candidate.
Pull up. Pull
Oop,
up.
that's gonna be... Oh. Trying to get a little close to maximize my impact. Sorry. Kill power of the bullet. So 3 dead tanks using tactics that would get you pretty much dead if they were actually firing back at you. So what's going on with this? Ah, crap.
Pull up. Pull up. Altitude.
And that's all I got.
Altitude.
Of course, it's not dead. Let's see what... Ah, he's almost dead. There's another thing in DCS, right? If that was an actual tank, he'd be out of action. It would be a mission kill, even if the actual vehicle didn't explode. Anyway, so it looks like that one took about 18 rounds before it died. This one, Unit 1, took 10, and then 18 rounds. This one, about 20, and this one withstood 12 and didn't die. So, looks like an average of 20 rounds or so to kill a T-72, but why are these numbers so damn low when my gun runs look pretty... I think they look okay. I mean, I'm not an expert, but, I think these hit ratios would be a lot higher, correct? So this is a start shooting at 33, end shooting at 36. So that's a 3-second burst, 5 rounds. Start shooting here. Oh, look, this one didn't hit any. Actually, it looks like start at 54. Hit with 13 rounds with a 2-second burst. Starting at 40. Starting at 39, ending at 41. A 2-second burst, hit 10. So, I don't know. It just seems like, what I'm doing, my actual attack, doesn't seem deterministic enough to guarantee a hit. I mean, all those T-72s took at least 2 gun runs, and I'm thinking they should be 1 run. If you do a good run, you get enough rounds. You got your pipper on, you got your pack engaged. I'm thinking 1 pass should probably kill a tank. Again, I'm not an expert, but maybe somebody else watching this might be. So input would be appreciated. Okay, so I wanted to kind of follow up with my previous video doing stuff. Sorry, that's not. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is test the effectiveness of the A-10's gun because I'm having trouble killing things, as you've seen previously. So, I was kind of curious why the debriefing showed me only hitting each tank with like 5 to 10 slugs per pass. So I figured, why not check TacView and see what's going on? And originally I was looking to see if, like, how wide of a dispersion the gun actually has. And as you can see here, pretty not wide. That's a nice narrow beam cone of fire, pretty much. It's not. And that's what I would expect from a Gatling gun, right? So I'm wondering what the hell's going on. That I must have hit it with more than 10 slugs. If you look here on the left, T-72 has been hit 143 times by the cannon out of 195 total fired. So my hit rate isn't 5 out of 200. It is 143 out of 200, which makes me feel better as a person, but also shows that what I think it is the debriefing isn't showing you the exact number of slugs that hit. It's probably some other measure. So that's that first run I did, which didn't kill the tank. So we're going to fast forward. Tried to come in a little more steeply this time, partially because it looks cool. And try to get a less of a flashlight effect on the tank. Boom. Hit 129 times. Excuse me. Here 129 times out of a total of 134 slugs fired that pass. So that's a much, much, much higher hit percentage than I had thought. As you can see, that's a pretty good shot. And did it kill the tank? No, it did not. So I come back again. Again, this is as attack runs go, it's a pretty good sight picture. I'm attacking from the rear quarter. I'm high above it, 30-degree dive, give or take. 368 knots indicated. It's a pretty good clip for a Warthog. And let's bird. Nice stream of fire. Boom, now he's dead. But it took not the 20 slugs that we thought from the briefing, but more like let's get the calculator going here. I can't add these numbers in my head. I can kind of eyeball it and say it's what 450. Let's say oops, 143 plus 129 plus 133, 400. So it looks like, in case you were curious, looks like about 400 rounds hit to kill, not the 20 that is showing in the briefing. I think the debriefing is showing you not actual rounds that made contact, but maybe pulses or groups of rounds that hit. And this one, that's not a very good angle to attack from. But attacking side on like that, got a pretty good picture of it, and I hit it 96 times. And I think this is the pass I make that I was so frustrated at. I took note, and that took, like 25% of the damage off the tank's health bar from attacking from kind of the front quarter. This pass, on the debriefing file, and when I looked at it in the F10 map to check the health bar, no change took place. It didn't show any hits, but look at this. I'm actually hitting it pretty good. And if you look over here, it shows 167 hits. Now, I realize that a slug hitting the tank isn't going to do a fixed amount of damage. It depends on the angle, it depends on the speed I'm traveling at, the range it has to travel before it makes contact, etc., etc. So I realize it's not like a one-for-one thing, like, oh, every tank takes 20 hits. You know, it's not D&D. It's not BattleTech. Oh, your autocannon 10 does 10 points of damage every hit. No, negative. It's more complicated than that. Sorry, my nerd was showing there a little bit. And here's, boom. And I decided not to attack that tank because I was too low. So here I was thinking I was only hitting like 40 out of my 1150 rounds of combat mix. So I'm actually hitting it with like a much higher percentage. Like I've got like an 80, just round number, 80% something of shots fired to, shots that actually make contact with the thing I'm shooting at. So that makes me feel a little better about myself. But it's not about that. I really want to figure out how to get these things dead in one pass. One way to do that is to get as close as possible before firing. That's one trick. The other is to attack from the high rear quarter. But I ran dry. So let's just check our math here. I want to make sure. I want to get a better idea because the debriefing and TacView do not agree on these numbers. So I'm going to add up all my shots fired to make sure they add up to 1150. So 140 has fired 194 plus 195 plus 134 plus 125 plus 204 plus 63 plus 82 plus 35 plus 118. How about that? 1150. So looks like TacView is actually measuring every individual bullet and every single strike by those bullets on the targets. So this is probably a more accurate number to look at. So if you're looking at your debriefing and wondering what the hell, I must have hit him with more than 5 slugs, look at TacView and you're going to be right. You're actually doing better than you think you are. But for some reason it seems like an issue with damage modeling or how the debriefing actually considers a hit. It's not counting every individual bullet strike. It's counting like something else. It probably groups them together or something like that. I don't know. But either way, I'm curious. Like, I want to know what I can do to make my gun runs more successful. Might make me more likely to kill them in one pass, which is what I'm looking for. That's what we're all looking for here, right? But we also want to do it without having to get, within, uh, you know, 120, sorry, 50 feet of the ground. I bottom out. Okay, 150 feet to the ground, and this close to these tanks. That's freaking dangerous. So I guess the solution is going to be tactics, practice, etc., etc. And I could probably open fire from a little farther out. That might be step number one. Start firing from like 0.9 miles slant range instead of 0.7. That'll give you an extra maybe half a second or so of gun rounds to fly and hit the target. And so I hope this is helpful. This is, again, don't misconstrue this as me joining the chorus. Oh, DCS need to fix their damage models. Yes, they do. I know that. They totally do. But they're working on it. I know that. You know that. The American people know that. Everybody knows that. So this is not me just complaining for the sake of it. I'm actually kind of curious what we can do in the meantime to make this kill more things. So thanks for watching, everybody, and hopefully this will help kind of contribute to the discussion instead of just kind of complaining about it. So thanks a lot.